say, guys, this is my new service cart. This is a Harbor Freight. I think this is the older unit, one that has only two drawers on the top. I've got this on Facebook. Paid I think like $50 or $60 for it back in last summer, and I customized it the way it works for me. There's a lot of stuff that's been changed, and I'm still kind of looking to do some other modifications as I needed. My biggest problem here, I work in a very small home garage. It's nothing special. It's getting really crowded, so I have to kind of get as much tools as I can in my service car so I don't have to walk, especially if I have two cars in the garage. It's really crowded. Now, before I used to have a small service car that was basically most of the time I was sitting down doing my brake jobs. Nowadays I have actually two lifts. I have this one. I got this one first. This is Atlas, 6,000 pound capacity, and now, especially in small cars like sedans, I can raise it up enough that I can actually stand up and do my brake job or service the front end, the rear end. Then now I can actually have a normal service cart, a normal size service cart. On this side of the shop I have a, this is a thing, I'm not sure exactly the model of this one, but this one has a 9,000 pound capacity. It doesn't go as high as the other one, but this one is much better for a pickup trucks, and that's why I use it for pickup truck and SUVs. I use this cart. That's why I needed a service cart, because most of my tools was actually in that black cart over there, and I could easily just work off of that cart, and I would have a car on this side and just kind of, do it that way. Unfortunately, when I got this lift here, I needed something that I can actually bring the tools on this side of the garage that I can actually work on it. Alright, so as I said, this is a just a old-fashioned US General cart. The first modification I've done, I put a swivel on a bottom so that both of these casters are actually swivel, so I can actually move it much easier. The next modification I have done, I put this angle piece here. This is from the old bed frame. I did not like this panel here. It was kind of wobbly, didn't have a lip over, and it was kind of flimsy, so I added this piece here, and then I put a handle actually at the front, because this is a small garage, I don't have to move it too far, and I like it this way much better instead of having it on the side. Next I have done a this lid. There's a lot of real estate on the lid. Since I'm in my home garage, I don't have to lock the lid. I can use pretty much everything for my tools, and in order to stabilize the lid, I just bolted those two magnetic strips here, one on each side. They're the same, and now I can use those magnetic strips as a places to put more tools. Now let's start it from the top. Now, after I used the cart for like good 4 or 5 months, I kept putting more and more tools on it, and I realized actually the bottom of the cart started to bending up. The casters actually started protruding through the bottom of the cart. It was too heavy. Now I have to modify it. I put these pieces, I'll show you what I've done. I had to use one of these plates, and I added another angle piece. This is like a 3/8 thickness, I believe it is, and then I bolted my casters, and now you can see it's holding up just fine. I can now load it up cart as much as I want. It's not gonna go anywhere. I'm probably gonna put another piece across, and maybe one on another side. And also I put another piece, angle piece here to stabilize this part. Alright, so let's take a look at the lid. I have my can holders, two of them, one on each side. Here I have my brake cleaner, my air tool lubricant. Then I have my grease for brakes, and anti-seize grease, and these are also the silicone for the brakes as well. And here I have a lubricant, and a penetrating oil and silicone lubricant for hoses. Now down here I have my Phillips screwdrivers. These are short screwdrivers here, and here I have my flat screwdrivers. I need to put two more. Misplaced it somewhere. Next is my snap-on torque wrench. I like this style torque wrench. I pretty much use it for wheels, keep it at around 110 foot-pounds. but I can easily change the torque that I need. But the nice thing about this style is you don't have to unscrew it all the time, every time you use it as a click style torque wrench. So this is a click style, but it's not one that you actually have a handle down. So this really works well, and it swivels a little bit, which I like a lot. And I have a magnet here, so I can actually, it doesn't stay in the jorts long, and it doesn't have to be, because it's used 100% of the time, every time I do something on the front end. I can just easily grab it. And here's my long half-inch Cobalt Ratchet. I really like this one. This is my second one. I had a first one for a long time, for 4 or 5 years, and then finally broke. This screw here broke, and I had to replace it. Just went to Lowe's and got another one. Has a lifetime warranty. Down here I have a whole bunch of magnetic strips. Here's my main light that I use all the time. This is what I put it on the hood of the car. This is a Bosch. I don't know what the number is. FL1. I don't know. But this is the Bosch one. It's a 12 volt, and we can actually change the angle. It has a pretty strong magnet. I can adjust it the way I need it, and also it has a hook. And now I have like 4 or 5 of these batteries, and it's pretty bright. Now here's my other light. This is also Bosch. I found this actually on Facebook. Some kid sold it to me for pretty much nothing. I had like some other items in it, but this was one that I really wanted to keep. The other stuff I got rid of it. And this is the another one. I like to kind of get around, and I just to kind of inspect stuff, and this one had a regular light bulb, and I changed it to LED, so it works very well. So down here, these are in the middle. I have my main 3/8 ratchet there. These two are from Harbor Freight. I really like these. I mean, there's nice teeth. I mean, I love them. I don't need anything better than this. It works just fine. And here's another Harbor Freight 1/4 inch. Absolutely love this one. And this one is from Napa. This is a swivel one, and pretty nice. It works just fine. You can see my tools are dirty because I use them. I do work on cars. The next one is this Duralast short handle 3/8. This is a 51-104 from AutoZone. This is a really nice ratchet. Works great when you have something that you gotta get in a tight space. Really love this one. Down here I have all of my 3/8 and 1/4 inch extensions. Some of these are like, this is a Pittsburgh one. It's a locking. I always use these when I change spark plugs. You can easily lock it to your socket, to your extension. Your socket's not going to fall, or when you pull it out, it's not going to stay inside your engine head. So always use this one. Always, always, always. Now it depends. I only have these two. I need one kind of a shorter one, but this is what I use all the time. These locking ones. And now I have also one with a little magnet. This works okay. I'm not really happy with this one. You really have to kind of. It doesn't work on every socket you put in. There has to be kind of short one, so it doesn't even fit to this one. I don't know. I'm not really happy with these at all. But they do work like on 13 actually. Like you can see, it works okay. You can put the screw in it, but it doesn't work on every socket 3/8. But it is what it is. It works sometimes. And then now here is a swivel one. I love this one. This is the Duralast. I wish actually I could find one that does not have an option, the flat one. You can actually lock it and use it as a straight, and then you push it out and it swivels. I might even grind this down, because when you go down, I kind of push it up, in a place, and then locks itself. It's kind of annoying. I like one that actually just swivels. That doesn't. If I want to use one that doesn't swivel, I'm just going to use one that doesn't swivel. I mean, this is kind of annoying to me, but it works okay. And next I have my these are main ratcheting wrenches. I got tons of these. I love them. These are all Craftsman and the gear wrench, 10 and 14, and another 10 here. And I'm not sure, my 13 is probably in the drawer. So I keep these easy to get to it, right on top of my lid. And this is my little right angle gear wrench hook. And then I have a little swivel 1/4 inch. This is a 5/16, basically 8 millimeters. I use it all the time. And this is little homemade socket I use for radiators, you know, that to open up the radiator to drain it, and couple adapters here, and then a half-inch, you know, half-inch extension and a half-inch swivel as well here. So nothing special. So with the impact and a couple, you know, little ones. So everything is here. Now when it comes to my sockets, nothing really special. I like all of them. These are my half-inch long and short impact. They are mostly from Cobalt, and I have actually a couple from actually most of them are actually, I'm sorry, the Great Neck. I had these for pretty much 20 years now. Never broke one. I did lose some of them, but never broke one. These are awesome. They don't make them anymore. I cannot find this company anymore. Maybe they changed the name or something, but this was awesome. They work forever. Now these are 3/8 short and long. These are mostly actually Cobalt, but believe it or not, this is back in the days when it was made in USA. And I also have a Craftsman made in USA. And I had these for probably 20 years now. And also here a 1/4 inch. And these are also, this is a Craftsman USA made. So that works fine. Next, I have these Swivels 3/8. This kit is from Clutch. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but I had them for Goodyear. You can see they've been used and abused, and they held up just fine. I mean, I love it. They work great. So far, I didn't broke any yet, so we'll see how long it's going to last. Down here, I have the 3/8 swivel from Harbor Freight, and I use them all the time. So they are so far didn't break any at all, so that's good. And some of the, you know, these extensions. Here I have my spark plug sockets. Actually, some are actually built on that. This one is SK. I have one Snap-on. They all find them used on eBay or I don't know, other places like pawn shop and stuff. Pawn shops. Here I have a set of a 3/8 impact long ones, and then this is recently I got these kind of shallow 3.5-inch sockets. They're made by what's this company, Work Zone, and the case that came in, it says made in Germany, so I don't know. And so I got this for like $10. So there's a couple more sockets on the other side. And then I have my Crowbar. This is a Matco one, and the other one, so I got this one. I don't even know. I think this is from I think it's a Great Neck as well. I don't remember. I had this for a long time. And on this side I have a couple of long flat screwdrivers, and then some of the 8 and 10 nut drivers. Now this side I have my 3/8 impact Torx. This is the long set, and kind of not should be a little shorter one. And these I actually got from Tractor Supply, and I beat the crap out of these things. I never had a problem with them. They are really good. I mean, it's some kind of Chinese knockoff or something, but it works just fine. Now this side here I have a whole bunch of pliers for hoses, and I'm completely obsessed with hoses because they absolutely drive me crazy, because there will be some hose somewhere that's going to get stuck. I'm going to get a hard time to get to the clamp, or something's going to happen. I'm going to spend way more time than I should to remove the hose. So I have a variety of different tools specified just for that. Just a clip removal pliers. These are for small clamps, hose clamps. This is a Miller tool. This works pretty good. And then there's the other one for clamps as well. This one is I don't know what to call it, the KD tool. This one's KD. I like this one as well. It's pretty good. And then now for a hose removal, I have these two pliers, this one here, and I have some on the back. Now for like small hoses like this size, I use mostly these two pliers, and these are actually pliers that were originally designed for a valve seals removal. They used to be straight, so I used my acetylene torch to bend it, and so you can see how they look now. And now I can grab the hose, depends on the angle, grab it like this and wiggle it and remove it. And if I have like a hose this side, maybe I can use a little bit bigger one, like this one here, and remove it as well, wiggle it around. Now, one that I really like is actually this one here. This is actually made for, this is a Mac tool, and I cannot read this number at all. It's UHP, I think 3660 or something like that, but this is actually originally designed for a spark plug wire removal, but actually works really good on the different hoses, on the hoses this side, and you can really wrap it around the hose and get a good grip on it and pull it off. The swivels in each direction. It's awesome. This is my #1 tool. Every time I have a hose this size, this is my tool that I'm going to use. These are pliers that I'm going to use. So that all stays on this side of the cart. It's easy to get to, and so far I've been using it for a good 4 or 5 months now, and it works great. Back of the cart I have these weird looking pliers, and I made the brackets from a sway bar links, so I just they were, I think, from BMW, I believe. And now these here are, I made them, and these are used for a big radiator hoses. Now this is my favorite one. I have no idea what this thing is. I found it on a yard sale. You can see how beat up, some kind of pliers or something. It was it was all the way up to here, so I cut it. I had a piece of metal pipe welded, and so now I can really nicely grab the hose, the radiator hose, and wiggle it. If this doesn't move the hose, nothing's gonna do it. It's just really, it's a long handle, long reach. I can really move the hose and remove it with these pliers. I absolutely love them. And I made a couple other ones, and now these are actually, I use the same pipe, metal pipe, and these pliers originally, I think, used in the aviation industry, some kind of no scratching pliers or something like that. There was some kind of plastic insert, so I got rid of those, and I welded these pieces. Now you can see one is kind of right in the middle of it, one is a little recessed to the side. If I have something that I have to get a little bit deeper or something, I'm using these, and again, easily wrap it around your hose and move the hose out, remove it. So it really works well. And you gotta, so, and now I can get to the hose and get it removed. And now here, these things are actually used for springs removal, for the valve springs removal, but I like them because I can. You also use for the hoses. I can actually pry one end and just kind of squeeze it and push the hose off like this. I have different sizes, so I can actually, put the hose in here and just get another end pried up against whatever it's on the other side and kind of squeeze it. It's ratcheting, and it pushes the hose off. And this works as well. Also, I can use, if you have, like, for instance, some kind of electrical harness or something that you have to move it to the side and keep it to the side, and I can actually get this in and kind of move the harness to the side and keep it there until I'm done, or whatever else you need to move. Maybe, I don't know, one day I was working, I had to push the radiator back a little bit, so this worked actually very well. I could gently pull the radiator back as I think it remove the alternator or something like that. So these things are really kind of cheap. I can get them for a couple of bucks on eBay. I have different sizes for different hoses and different things that I need to do. So that's on the back of the cart. And I also, if I have to reach them, I can reach it from the front. I can see the tip of these pliers. And these are a little bit recessed, but I can pretty much see what I need. I can take it out and then put it back in without spinning the cart around or get around the cart to get to it. So this actually works works pretty good. The next modification that I did, you can see I made these brackets in front of the cart. Now my biggest struggle was when I mainly use air tools, and when I, for instance, using this ratchet here, the 3/8, this one is Craftsman, the old one made in Japan, and now I need to put it back. I would have to put it on top of the cart or something. Then this way I can actually put it back with the hose attached to my tool, and if I have to use it to another tool, I can easily switch it, move it, and take another tool. Now here I have my hooks for brake calipers. Now these two are my angle grinders. This one is a Cornwell. I love this one. I got it used. And so the sets here, and this one is from the straight one is from AutoZone, wiper. They are junk, but they're okay. They're like 20 bucks. They will work for like maybe 4 or 5 months, and they have a year warranty. I just go and get another one. This is already broken, actually. You can see here. They don't last long, but I have a lot of the coupons from AutoZone, so I can pretty much get it for free. So everything is customized for this here. Now here I have my 18 volt impact driver. Now for you, I do have some electric, cordless tools, but for you guys who want to, I want to be cheap. I don't want to, I don't need the latest and greatest stuff. So what I do now is these 18 volt. These are no longer manufactured. They now the volt goes to 20 volt units, and you can find these dirt cheap all over the place. And I actually have 4 of these, and I have 3/8. I have this one, 3/8 driver. I got like I think 3 more of these, and I would pay like 10-15 bucks each, literally, that cheap. I got like 4 or 5 batteries, and now the I like these Bosch. This is what I've got in that kit that I got on a Facebook. I kept lights and these two, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 batteries. And on this one I keep a 1/4-inch extension. On this one I keep the screwdriver bit. And I never have to go from one tool to another. I just, mostly when I start working, I would put like this 3/8 attachment for my hoses. And this pretty much stays on it all the time as I'm working. So I just grab this tool with the already 8mm socket on it, and I will keep going. So this is what I have on this side. Now this is made out of some kind of old bearing, and you can see this is just old pieces of metal that I had around the garage. On this side I have this is a 3/8 JP socket. I love this thing. This is actually found at the pawn shop as well. Used one. Now this one here, I bought this new. This is a CH. This is my main impact. This is a RP04018. I absolutely love this one. Now I love it so much that I kind of freak out if it breaks. I don't have replacement, so I have a brand new one. Sits in the drawer for once this one goes out, this will replace it, and they are like 30-40 bucks, and they really work well. I mean, they're kind of small, easy to handle. The only thing that I don't like is the regulator for forward and reverse. They're here. I wish they're kind of here on the side, but it works okay. For me, it's perfect. And that actually sits in this side of the. This is some kind. I found this somewhere. I don't even know where they got this piece of metal for that I made a bracket. And this will be. So now, if I have to move my hose, I can go to this one, plug it in, use it, and put it back in. It works just fine. Here is my little bracket for my zip ties. Just made out of the metal tube. I bolted on it. And now go to the drawers. Here I have more sockets. Pretty much all of them are from Harbor Freight. This one is a Cobalt digital torque wrench. I use this one mainly for like sockets and stuff. For spark plugs. Very, very simple one. This is only a foot-pounds, and all it does actually is just to display the torque on as you apply the torque on it, and it will. Let's see if I can. Cannot do it now. But basically what it does, it will display the torque and it will save it for you so you can actually see it. You cannot memorize anything. It's just a very simple torque wrench. You just as you go, you see the torque and you stop when you need to. Nothing to it, but I like it. You know, sometimes less is more. And again, this is my, you know, other ratchets from Harbor Freight. This one is 3/8 from Cobalt long one. I have this one also from Harbor Freight, 3/8 Harbor Freight. Now these are I also keep my narrow wrenches here and grind them down for the brake jobs to get the pins out, and that works fine. Just a cheap wrenches. This is what I actually use these a lot. The wood chisels to scrape the rust off of it. This was great. I mean, if you have like a, I don't know, ABS sensor that has a rust is built up, or crankshaft position sensor, and the sensor is pulled away from the base, this works great. I mean, you just scrape the rust in a second with this thing. It's great. It works pretty good. And now once it gets, I need to sharpen this one, and I just get a, you know, sharpen back up and use it again. And here's what this is my gear wrench set with a Allen wrenches and torques. Another one here, and then some, you know, scratch pads and all the pretty much cleaning supply, you know, for the brakes and stuff like that, the wheels, and that's that. And to clean up the battery terminals. Now also this one, this plier here, I forgot to tell, this is one that actually removes the cable from the battery. But this is KD tool. I love this thing. It's really nice. You just go under, squeeze it, and you pop the cable from the battery. Down here I got a whole bunch of wrenches. They are not very well organized. I just don't have enough space, but pretty much Craftsman, and some of these are, this is Grey Neck as well. I absolutely love these offset wrenches. I had these for over 20 years. I mean, they're awesome. And I got the bigger ones from Craftsman. Works fine. I always have extra mirrors. Even though you have telescopic mirrors, I always have these bigger ones. They always come handy. And other ratcheting wrenches. This is an 8mm for the batteries, and I really like this style of the wrenches, the swivel ones, and that's it. They could be organized a little bit better, but that works fine for me. And these are long ones here, just the Craftsman, and I think these are, yeah, mostly Craftsman actually. So from 10 up to 17. Everything's metric, by the way. I don't have anything that's standard. Everything's metric. Bottom drawer here, a whole bunch of pliers, some Cobalt. I have the Napa pliers. I got 3 of these, 3 different sizes. I love these pliers. I use them up, but that's what I use it for. This is a Matco cutting plier, Nipex, whatever, Napex, I don't know. Cutting pliers. These are from Matco, and I'm not happy with these at all. I mean, they're just not, they don't hold up at all. I don't know if I can warranty these or not, but I'm not happy with those at all. And these are other hose pliers again. Well, there's a Mac and Matco. This one was found somewhere as well, so it was pretty rusty and in bad shape, but I put it back to life. So, and I also have a Napa long nose pliers. There's like a double angle, whatever they call them, and these are really nice. You don't have to open up your handle too much to grab something, so it works pretty good. I got 2 of these, straight and angled, and then that's about it. And some of the also long nose, curved and straight, long pliers. And this is just for the panels removal pliers. And, I mean, I got so much other stuff in the other drawers, but this is what's in my. Now this is also I used as a ratcheting device. I don't even know where I get this one. If I have to pry, maybe even if I have to pry I don't know, maybe exhaust or something to push it to the side or anything. That actually comes pretty handy. And alright, so that's that. Here's the right side of the cart. All my hammers are here. I made these brackets. They work pretty good. I just used some old head bolts, weld them up to this bar here, and kind of customize it for all of my hammers. And here's my another bracket here for my C-clamp I use on a brake job. I actually welded this nut here. It works so much easier now instead of having a, you know, the handle to turn it around. It was kind of catching here, so that's why I put this as well. And here I keep my wrench extension that I made it myself. It stays here. Cart. I have some extra air tools as well, some bungee cords, and then down here I have small. I used to put some more air tools here, but since I made these extra brackets, now I had some extra space here, and I have some of these things to remove the clips, and small pliers. And here is a so this attachment always stays on this Cobalt impact driver, and what I'm using it for mostly for a screws that holds the brake calipers. And the way it works, you maybe, I don't know if you have a, put the Torx here, it's a 3/8 drive, and I have this handle. You came with it, so you put the handle here, and you put up your socket, and then you get into the inside your bolt, and then you know, start vibrating. You're hitting the bolt, and you with the hand you're turning it around. So what it does, it's not stripping your bolt, you can easily remove it. Now this particular piece, I got this off of eBay. I actually had I had one that was homemade, but it didn't last long because I welded the piece of I welded one ratchet, and it did not hold up very well because of the vibration. The weld would break. Now this is what it originally looked like. This was like AT540 or something like that. It's used in the automotive industry for something. I'm not exactly sure what, and some of you guys probably know. But the problem was it would not fit into my impact driver, so I had to modify this a little bit. This is what the original looks like, so I had to grind it down. You can see what I had to do. It took me a while to get all this grinded. Put it on a drill bit. I'm sorry. I put it on a drill and use a file or something, and file it all down so it can actually fit into my impact now, and it works pretty good. And this always stays together. It just stays on the side of the cart. When I need it, I grab it. When I'm done, I put it back together, and that's it. And that's pretty much it. Now at the bottom of it I have some extra sockets, and the question, why do I need 2 sets of sockets? Even though I have a lift now, I still have to crawl underneath the car. It's not a full-size lift, but at this point I can raise the car off the floor enough that I can actually lay it down on my creeper, that I can actually wheel myself in and out. And instead of getting up all the time, I can actually now grab my sockets from the bottom of the cart. And the nice thing about this as well, I can actually, even in my lay down position, I can put my air tool back, grab another one, and get out of the car again. And so that's why I have these sockets here. This is not done yet. I'm still kind of thinking what I'm going to do here. And I have some extra sockets for that. I have some extra ratchets to use with these sockets here, and these are my tools that for the brake jobs. And that's about it. This is my service cart. This is a little bit different what you usually see on YouTube, what the people have. Some kind of odd tools. I do like to modify tools to find something that I make. If I can make something that works better, why not? If you don't always have to use the tool that's what's designed for. You can, just think a little bit, and what other purpose can be used for. And a lot of these tools are pretty cheap. People don't use them anymore, but they're still very useful. And I know it looks ugly, but I don't care. It works. It's all the point is getting the job done more efficiently and more pleasantly, I guess. You don't have to struggle. And Alright guys, that's it. I hope you guys enjoy this tool tour, and see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.